All right, so my first point, and I prove this all the time, especially when we start talking about animals and we start talking about things like that. You know, if you look at our physiological makeup and you look at our teeth, you look at our fingernails, you look at our fingers, you look at how we are vertical, we are vertebrates, we are not horizontal. You look at how we can walk up to trees and, you know, pick fruits and things like that. From a physiological standpoint, we are not created to eat meat. I done proved this time and time again, so I don't really want to go back into that, but I'm going to tap on it just a little bit. Okay, you have fingernails, you don't have claws. All right, you don't have long canine teeth to actually rip meat from the bone or to rip flesh. Not only that, if you look at your digestional tract put together, when I'm talking about your small intestine and your large intestine stretched out, it's about 26 to 30 feet. If you look at animals like a carnivore, small intestines and they large intestines stretched out, it's about 12 to 16 feet. And the reason why theirs are so short, because their digestive process is called putrefaction, meaning that the meat that they're eating rots and they have to get rid of it very quickly because the fumes and all the different amines that is created in the acids that's created from this meats will kill them. That's the reason why they have to poop it out the next day. You go through a digestive process called fermentation, where you're supposed to be eating vegetables and 90% fruit, for real 99.9% fruit, where your food go through a fermentation process where it's a slow digestion process for you can get quick absorption. All right, these are totally two different processes. And in order for you to process your food slow like that, that's the reason why your small intestine and your large intestine is so long. In order for them to process that putrefacted, acid forming, very corrosive chemistry that's called literally uric acid that's coming from that meat, and for them to get that digestive enzymes from the blood, which is the reason why they do not kill their animal. They literally eat their animals alive when you look at a carnivore, because all of the nutritive factors and the phytonutrients and phytochemicals that they need to thrive off of is in the blood of their animal. See, in order for them to do that, they have to get a quick absorption. That means that that food must go in and go out very fast. Even look at the life expectancy on a carnivore. You don't see no carnivore living past 25 years. If you look at a lion, if you look at a hyena, if you really look at a true carnivore, they don't get older than 25 years before they die. And the reason why is because they're bringing in all of that acid, all of that uric acid. If you look at the life expectancy of man now, you know, especially if we're talking about so-called African Americans, 60 years old. Used to be 80, before then it was 100, it was 120. If you look at the life expectancy of man now, you know, especially if we're talking about so-called African Americans, 60 years old. Used to be 80, before then it was 100, before then it was 120. But we are adapting the diets of carnivores and we are adapting the diets of barbarians, and that's the reason why life expectancy is getting shorter and shorter and shorter, because of our diets, and we're not eating according to our genetic makeup, y'all. So that's just one point proven, right? If you look at the physiological aspects, we are not created to eat meat. All right, now when you get on the chemical level, when you eat these meats break down to acids, and these acids is not made for your body. The hydrochloric acid that is made inside of your stomach is not even hot enough to break down these proteins and these polypeptides. And that's the reason why most people that eat meats either have heartburn or the hydrochloric acid number go down and they start producing a lot of LDL cholesterol to be a buffering system for the meat that they eating. Another thing, all the lipids and base chemistry from the meat is clogging up the arteries, raising the cholesterol, and meat eating is one of the #1 cause of heart disease. Heart disease is the #1 disease that most people die from in the Americas. #1. That's #1, y'all. Coming from what? The meat eating. We don't see that the diet is what's killing us. You look, getting heart disease and dying from diet is a choice, and we don't see it because we just sit back and we become oblivious to the facts and be in our face. But we love and we are so addicted to these meats and so addicted from the byproducts of these animals, like the dairy products, that we can see a heart attack staring us damn near dead in the face, and we turn and look the other way. And that's the reason why all of us are dying of heart failure. Look how many people are dying of heart failure. Like I was just talking about at my lecture in San Diego, California. There's no such thing as dying of old age. You will never see that in the book. A lot of people are dying from cardiac arrest, and when you look what the cardiac arrest came from and what caused it, is clogged up arteries due to lipids. And you find and you trace these lipids back and go back to the meat. Now I just want to show y'all something. I want to show y'all that not only is we not supposed to be eating meat, we're not supposed to be cooking these meats. And you sure ain't going to eat it raw because you're not a carnivore. And that's the reason why when you cook it, you got to put all types of herbs on it, all types of allspice, all types of cilantro. You got to put pickles on it, which is cucumbers. You got to put lettuce on it, which is a vegetable. You got to put tomatoes on it, which is a fruit. You got to put ketchup on it, which is a fruit. You got to put mustard seeds on it. Seed is a part of a fruit, which is a fruit. Then you put bread on it, which is wheat or grains. So everything you do to even dress this meat up, y'all, shows you that naturally you don't even like the stuff, and you cook all the nutritive factors out of the meat to even eat it, because the nutritive factors is within the blood of the meat. Once you cook that and you put it to high temperature, there's so many different chemicals that is killing us and mutating our cells that's created from just cooking the meat in the first place. So you can't eat it if it's raw, because it's too many complex amino acid protein structures. Amino acids is what make a protein. Poly means, or complex means so many of them. So when you eat a polypeptide, you're eating many amino, last word, acids. So you're eating a lot of acids. This is going to burn the cells. This is going to burn the body. Not only that, you cook these amino acids. Now look, now remind you this though, the amino acids is the protein. They say you're supposed to eat animals to get proteins, but the animals eat the plants to get their proteins. So they get their proteins from a source called plants, which is where your protein's supposed to come from, right? So the animals eat that protein and then they metabolize that protein. And once they metabolize that protein, these amino acids that makes the proteins from the plants go to the liver of the animal. The animal then convert these things into proteins. First, they were simple amino acid structures. Then the liver of the animal created the protein. Now it's a metabolic nitrate waste that's left over from the animal converting the amino acids from the plants to proteins. You then kill the animal and cook the animal. You're already, look, the protein was already converted and used and metabolized, which means there's a leftover byproduct waste. You then recook this stuff and then you eat it. And you think that you're really getting protein, organic, simple proteins from these animals. No, you're not. You're getting the leftovers of the proteins that the animals had already metabolized and utilized from the plant. That's not doing for nothing for your body. It's called a stimulant. Do you look at stimulants? These are nothing but false things that's appearing real. So you building muscle up off of them. You're getting some type of energy from them, but it's false energy and it's false muscle. Think I'm playing. Look at any bodybuilder that eats protein and they work out all day. Tell them to stop working out for a month or two, and they're going to turn into fat. That's going to turn into lipids. Their muscles start turning into fat. They lose the muscle weight real quickly because they have built muscles on a faulty foundation. It's like building a house on top of a sand mountain. Do not let a mudslide or don't let the wind blow too hard, because it's going to fall apart, because you are building a house on faulty foundation. Same thing that we're doing when we're bodybuilding off of proteins, and we're saying that we're getting our proteins from meat. It is all a crock of boo-boo, y'all, and I hope y'all are seeing this right now. Now let me show y'all something. So everybody want to get super scientific with it, right? So let's get super scientific. I thought I was being so simplistic in my science for y'all can understand what I'm saying, understand and understand what I'm saying. But let's get deeper into it and show y'all that, look, even the government know that meat is killing us, and the government know that meat is aging us, and it is rusting out our cells, and it is causing us to die quicker because it is damaging our DNA. This is on the Cancer Research Institute site. This is on the WHO site. You can find these articles everywhere, y'all, by your government, by your scientists. You act like you can't hear it from me. You must hear it from a white man. So let's hear it from a white man. And I'm sick and tired of Hebrew Israelites trying to, bring me down and try to shame me and try to make me look bad when I'm here for y'all, in the culture for y'all, going hard for y'all. It makes no sense and it's sickening. But look, let's prove it. Let's prove it.
Revolution is real. Now we rise.